Hello friends, Alessandra here. I'm here with Moose and then Wally, he's here too. And we're doing a quick garden tour because tomorrow, or I guess tonight, is our first night of the season hitting 32 degrees. So I figured I should take this time to do a quick update because as you can probably tell, the dome was working on being covered and a lot of these plants are going to be going in the dome, hopefully. Not these are going to be dead. Our squash took off later than normal, well, later than I would like this year. So nothing really got super big on them. Our vines also didn't overwhelm, although this cup and saucer has done really well. It was also a little late getting started, but I mean, it made it all the way up there. So I'm optimistic if we maybe put a few of them in next year, it'll get a lot more coverage. All of these are going to be getting put into the dome somehow this year. We have a lot more plants going in there this year. Our apple tree made it, our weeping tree, our rose from last year, those were all in last winter, but new this year is going to be our honeysuckle over here, and then our raspberry shortcake, the big version. But they did really well this season, all things considered. And you could tell we're in the early stages of covering the dome. Not that everything is going to make it in there tonight, but I want to get ready because I know more cool nights are on the horizon. This raspberry is starting to lose its leaves. This made it through the winter, did great this year. And our perennial green stalk tower, we'll pull all the annuals out like the squash, and I think there's a few petunias in there. But it's going to do really well this year because we're going to water it, and hopefully all the new plants we put in this summer will survive through the winter, and well, we'll see them next year hopefully. I'm not sure that these blueberry plants are going to make it through the winter. They've been really struggling. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but we're going to try and fit them in there, and you know, hopefully they come back in the spring and are just miraculously healthy. Also, our big maker pipe structure for shade, we'll be taking the well, I guess the netting part off, but I don't know if you remember, we have them on kind of like zip tie rings, so I can just pull this after cutting the bottom and slide it across. Now, given how much snow we get out here in Colorado, I'll probably just take the whole thing down just for safety purposes so the snow doesn't build up, but we'll leave the structure up. Who knows, maybe we'll decorate it. Puppy break. Hello boys. So last year we learned a lot with covering the dome. We have somewhat of a new plan for this year. There's a whole video in the works of how we make a new and improved cover for this year. That'll be coming out soon, hopefully. Now this area is going to get interesting because all of these containers are going in there. We got a lot of new roses this year because, well, not all of our roses from last year made it, but things like our enchanted peace, they made it. But these four here are all new. And you're probably looking at this going, Alessandra, why are these going in there? Well, because the smaller versions of our raspberry shortcakes are in here, and I want them to live. So I'm going to try to put these in there. I think these more traditional earth boxes are probably the only ones that I have of that size going in there. So we'll see how that fits, but I'm trying to leave them out as long as possible because like this petunia didn't do really well, but the nasturtiums did very well. I've been collecting seeds to hopefully replant last year. These are the cherry ones, and like, look, there's still blooms on them. And then interestingly, one of our sunflowers took. So I'm just trying to give that a few more days if possible. I think the raspberries can probably take a night or two of the 30-degree temperatures. And this covering, you could tell it's sagging because we left it, well, it snowed on it this year after we put it up a few times in some hail, so it's already stretched a little bit. We'll get it fixed up next year and probably lower this bar so it's a little bit more taut, but that's coming down soon. And as far as our green stalks go, we're going to take this top layer off, but I'm trying to wait till those sunflowers grow. But we have a few of our tree saplings that are still alive on the top layer only, ironically, from the Arbor Foundation. So I'm going to put that in, hopefully, the dome. And then on this one, we got a lot of runners this year on our strawberries, and they produced a ton. They also survived the winter last year, so we only had 2 tiers last year. This year we've expanded into a third. with all the runners. So hopefully we can carry this into the dome and overwinter them, but I don't know if this is gonna be heavy. I don't have my sneakers on, or else I'd go up there with you guys. But these up here, the mums, or no, yeah, we have chrysanthemums, some squash, a pentas, and just some annuals. We'll let them die out on their own. The vines didn't go crazy. So somehow we're gonna fit a lot of bins in here this year, but something we're going to do differently is we're going to try to stack and work on our thermal mass, because I figured that way, if we can stack, you know, like if you look at these two together, we could probably fit one on top of them in the middle, and hopefully that will keep, like, especially here we got all this open space where this one has grown more that way, we can stack things up, and the heat hopefully from the bin will keep the plants warm. I don't know if that's how it works, but we're gonna try, because we got a lot of plants to put in there. What do you think, Wally? You gonna help me with the dome? You are? You're gonna help me with the dome today? Okay, thanks, little buddy. All right, friends, well, this is probably the last garden tour update of the year, since hopefully next time we check in, all the plants will be in the dome. But for now, I need to go work on this dome before the cool temperatures kick in.